Okay, time to put the work there. All right.
Start at 7. The equipment.
Yeah, number 7, the Big River Coal, the gas equipment and water towers, we've been talking about that. We're not gonna do anything tonight, we're gonna need a little more time, we can look over things that are, no more about.
Well, I've read mine, but I agree with you, I read mine, and I talked to Tim, how do you pronounce his name? So,
I need to get the opportunity.
no, you haven't yet. No, so I understand what you're concerned about. But I think, we want to talk about some of the concerns. If anybody has, probably would know have some questions, if we wanted to come and talk to us.
The only concern we really had, I had, was the house going to be mounted. And they know welding done on the tower, but they know hole drill on the tower to mount it. And if they put equipment up there, they cannot lock the ladder going up. So then I'd be able to get up there.
And the T-rail.
Yeah.
Well, surely these people are professionals, they know what they're
It's better play CYA game. Mm-hmm. You know what that?
You always see why
Yeah.
Can I speak?
Yeah.
Okay. We have a lock on there. And the other concern is, do we provide them a key, or do they have to get a hold of us every time they have to go and sell this equipment? That's another thing I wanted you guys to think about.
I would rather they get a key for you. But when it's in the board, I don't want anybody else to have a key at work.
Okay. That's that was another thing that I wanted somebody to
Yeah,
consider.
that would be,
Because that would have been forgotten, and
Right.
then we'd have to hash it out later. So,
Diana? Does that sound like you? Instead of giving them a key to get in the gates to the water tower, I think they should have to have them get a key each time they want in there, because we don't know who,
Yeah, you run a risk of tampering.
yet. And I don't think we need that. What do you think?
Well, will they be able to find a person that has a key at the time they need them?
Because it would be during working hours,
Yeah,
so.
they probably be working on weekends,
Right.
you know. But I'm like, we have that boring jam stuff, I don't know. Myself, I personally wouldn't want people in there, without my knowledge, the city knowledge. If they know.
And where is this going again? On top
They look at them, that was.
Yeah, last-
it's a water tower on 61.
They got a
It's one of the
simulation
shop,
on the last page.
And it's 7 foot.
Yeah, they have a simulation, it shows you where they tentatively will put it.
And he did email me asking the height of both of the towers. So they may want to see about doing the other one as well, although that's not in this proposal. The fact that they're asking means,
Well, that's,
they're interested in.
yeah, you think they put on the higher than 2,000?
They're looking on both.
All right.
Possibly both.
Okay, good.
And I don't know, I can't say that for sure.
there's a lot of things they need to tell us before we do it.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, yeah, no, and the safety concerns on the key access, that's definitely a good point. The skin of the building, I'm gonna make sure they know that that's our concern as well. While I'm talking with them, what about the $75 per month that they're offering as far as revenue for that? Is that a number you guys wanna maybe negotiate with them? You think it's?
We know that, actually, everyone else, what we require.
Well, I did find out, because most of the time, between here and Farmington, which is Big River territory, they got towers, you know. But they do, and so I can't find anybody that's got any Big River equipment. I went to St. Jen and asked them, and they're like, no, we don't have anything by Big River, but they do have that Verizon on that tower I mentioned, and that's $1,100 a month. But once again, it's a higher tower, and it's, you know, a town of 4,400 people versus St. Mary's at 360. And the way they said it, the range of the tower is only gonna reach 100 people, according to them. I don't know where they're getting that number, but that's what the proposal says.
I think what they're setting up for that is that they're figuring that there's probably 100 in this community, 100 homes that will be reached in this community.
Oh, they may be talking households
Because I said,
instead of
well, it says we
population.
have,
and-
yeah, our population is around 300, and he said, well, then that figures about right to be 100 homes. I'm not sure that we really have 100, I mean, those that do the water stuff, they probably know how many homes are actually functioning here. At this point, when I was reading it over, the $75, I know it doesn't sound like very much, when you consider they're doing all this and they're not asking for a penny, I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's why I want your input. If that's something I even need to bring up with them,
Mhm.
so they'll be on their radar anyway. I don't know if this is like their first offer, or maybe we need to negotiate, or what it is. But, you look at it from two sides, Number one, they are offering a service to our, community. They are investing a lot of money in this equipment. That ain't cheap, and they are paying us something versus nothing.
That's
So,
900 a year.
okay.
Is there a time frame on it?
I didn't get that. I didn't say.
I did ask him about that too. I said, if we drag our feet on this, or if we wait a month till next month, or, oh no, we're working on things right now, right? The day I talked to him, they were working on checking the radio frequency.
Oh, okay.
So, that's something they have to do too, the radio frequency here. And that's what, like the proposal down here, and I know the others haven't had a chance to read it yet, but, there'll be the structural analysis of the water tower to determine the support capabilities of the structure, and the radio frequency analysis for final determination of equipment sizes. And they're already, they're already working on that,
Okay.
radio frequency.
Yeah, and they've already invested some time in this.
And then they will do the final equipment specifications and construction drawings to be submitted to us.
Yeah, all right.
Good. Number 8.
Number 8. Oh, we passed the bid to Gettinger Electric on a contingency that we talked to them and say, hey, what kind of wire are you going to be using? How's this thing going to be hooked up? So Carl, Clem Duzzy, me, and Dennis Bovee all went when Gettinger showed up. We all went with them and said, okay, what's going to happen here? And they guaranteed us that the wire they're going to use is the heavier gauge wire, more than meets the code. And they're not just going to hook, and it's going straight from the pole to the building. And they're not just going to hook up the pump, they're going to power the entire breaker box so that we can have a light in there, a fan, and then also an outlet in case you ever need to plug in some power tools or something. So it did meet the specifications, and since we did pass it on a contingency, I want to follow up and say, hey,
That sounds good.
okay.
So actually, we need it over. We got a room, we don't have electric at all, that's useless.
Yeah, I know.
Do we have a water meter on that? So that we can access how much water is being used? Do we have a water meter on that well?
Oh, yeah, there's a meter on it.
Okay.
Good.
There's a meter.
Yeah,
So that didn't get scrapped, or that didn't get
No,
taken.
all that's there, pumps there, everything's there.
Everything that's pump house is there like
Yep.
that.
That's right.
Right.
All it needs is electric.
Okay, let me ask about the access to the key. Were you talking about access to the gate? Is that what you're talking about? The gate that
Well, right,
surrounds the tower?
they're gonna, he brought up the point that, are we just gonna give Big River a key and have them, put an extra lock on the chain, then give them access, so where they can come anytime without us even knowing about it possibly? Or are we not gonna give them a key and they have to come to us so that we know when they're there and we can supervise and make sure nothing crazy happens with our.
Well, I heard something about a building, but there's not a building there, right? That's a fence. It's a fenced-in area that they're needing access to, not a building. Okay.
Right. All right, we're in work session.
Okay. Well, I can bet you up in 5 seconds.
What about that?
I don't think
worth the time for the money. That's it.
Do you think we should ask for more money?
I don't think, unless there was a bunch more, I don't think we should mess with it. We got too much liability, people inside that fence and things, or what else we're gonna be out money. Every time they come down, send somebody down there, leave a lot of his hands, and if they're only offering $75 a month, how in the hell they ain't gonna go, more than be reasonable.
If you read the proposal, this money is stimulus money from the government that they're building this with.
I don't care what that money is, it's
They
only
have
$75
insurances
to
of
us.
$1 million to $5 million if you read the.
But it's only $75 a month to us for the aggravation and the trouble.
What aggravation?
Oh, you don't think you don't think there's anything wrong with letting everybody have keys?
No, I didn't say that. You're
What do you
going
think it's
down.
gonna do? Or else we're gonna have to pay
You're not
people to go
listening.
down there.
You're not listening to me.
You're not listening. We're gonna have to pay people if either we gotta let them have keys, or we gotta have somebody there all the time they're there. Is that
They're
cost
there
money?
anyway.
Huh?
They're around town anyway.
Well, they don't do
full
nothing else.
time.
They don't do nothing else. If they're gonna be down there all day working on something, our guys don't do nothing all day, they can go down there and sit with them. Huh? Is that right? Is that what you're saying?
No,
Our
it's-
people
it's
don't do
just
nothing?
silly. It's just silly.
Do what you say?
I said it's just silly the way you think about that.
Well,
This
it's
is a
silly the way
benefit.
you think.
This is a benefit to the community. This is a
What's the
benefit to the
benefit?
people.
$75, and with the down there one day, biggest part of that's already gone for the month.
They are offering us internet service.
They
It is not that
There's
great around
internet service
town.
here. Dish has got it. How many
All
people
kinds
want internet service? Do you have any idea?
When this community starts to grow and we
Right.
have businesses in here, they're going to need
You give your opinion,
decent
I give my
community.
opinion,
Well,
then
that's
you
right.
guys can
And we
vote.
have the vote.
That's right. I don't never question that right. But I'm giving my opinion, you
Right.
giving your opinion,
That's
they
right.
got their opinion. If it's a tie, then my opinion counts. If it's 2 and 2, and if it's 3 and 1, then that opinion counts, whatever it is. But I don't think, I'm just giving my opinion, that I don't think for what they're paying, and there's too much liability when you're talking about inside of a water tower with equipment in there, we got chlorination in there. I don't think it's worth the trouble.
That's a good thing to ask the gentleman when we talk to him. Liability for the city. Thank you.
I don't care what you say to them when you talk. I know that what's inside that fence. I know who's responsible for it. And I know we're responsible to the citizens of this community. And I think that outweighs any damn internet, when there's already internet available in this town. You can get dish internet. You can get the DRS, or whatever that is, I got that. I'm not a professional, but it does me just fine.
Yeah, I got Virgin Mobile and it runs off the Sprint tower.
And it's down a lot. You know, it happens. But I just don't think it's worth the trouble. What about the rest of you? It's entirely your opinion. I mean, y'all go ahead and discuss it. I'm just giving my opinion and how I feel.
We talked about it, and we weren't gonna make any decisions tonight, so we were going.
Well, we can make no decisions now. But it's on the,
Right, it's on the agenda.
it's on the agenda. We're talking about work session. But you got, it's on the agenda, and then you can vote.
So we just decided to wait till next month before we did it, and that was our opinion.
Yeah, I want a representative here from Big River, so we can do everything. Clear out.
If I choose to wish, that's the way it be. That would be the board's decision.
Would it make, if we had a thing where it's $75 per month, but then we also maybe put in the contract where if they do have to come and do work on their tower, it's so much per day additional? Would that solve both sides of this?
Maybe they have something that they will offer when they come. This is what they do when they're setting it up. It said there it would take about a month for it to be put in place.
Has anybody checked to see if anybody else has got one on the tire and they had it?
I can't find anybody with Big River on their tower. I did find a Verizon has equipment on the tower in St. Ken on, by where KSTM is on White Sands Road. They're paying $1,100 a month, but that is a taller tower, it's more coverage, you know, because of the height and more people, and it is self-service versus internet.
I think that's always a joke. It's not even a good joke. It's so low, it shouldn't even be discussed. Look, they gotta go up there, I don't know what they gotta do with the tower, I don't know if it's spelled out how they, now neither not.
The city makes money off of that too, don't they, with taxes and that sort of thing, off the internet services and phone services and this town?
We do get a check from all the cell phone companies, I mean, it's
Perhaps
pretty,
that's-
pretty, and then would know the amounts on them, some are obviously bigger than others, so depends on how many subscribers they got.
I seriously doubt if everybody in this town gonna run and sign up for that internet. I seriously doubt if a majority percentage does. We don't even know what they charge. I don't know what they're not, all that thing now. It might be cheaper than what they charge, you know, nobody might wanna look at it.
I know it'd be faster because they are using LTE, but as far as how much they're charging, I don't know.
Well, most people need spare speed, but I mean, unless you're in a business, you don't have to have super speed.
That's why we need to look forward. We need to get into the 21st century.
Oh, do we? You know, you gotta have the best internet going in your home in the 21st century.
If we want to have businesses come in here, they're not gonna want.
Lady, you're gonna get very few business in this town when you're landlocked.
After
You
that.
got very little shipping. We got a little
There are
business out
other
there,
ways,
we
but
lost
we
it.
haven't looked into them.
We maybe
Not
lost
yet.
I guess we lost our business because we don't have the internet. We lost Saber Line, right?
No, we
Don't
know
know
the reasons
we lost
why they
them.
left. There's other reasons why they left.
Well, I understand PG bought that, maybe we'll have to get internet to get that in now. I never even heard of it.
Oh, Big River? They're real big in Farmington, that's where their main office is, or at least the one I know of, I mean, they, yeah,
But you don't understand that they got what?
Sorry. Y'all discuss whatever you want. I'll give my opinion. I don't know what they want.
Well, at least, in all fairness, read the proposal when you get a chance, Mayor, please.
You want
Because
me
it's
to-
some of your
you want-
questions
you
might
wouldn't,
be in here.
from what I understand, and I'll discuss this more in the meeting, you wouldn't believe me if I told you I read it. The only way you believe it, you read it to me. Because you don't believe a thing we tell you.
Just
Because
see-
I know you made a phone call this week that costed us a lot of money because we had to explain stuff. Because you called because you don't believe what we pay in insurance. We'll discuss this in the meeting, when it's a matter of record. So I can tell you I read it and you wouldn't believe it. But all I gotta do is satisfy myself and say what that's all you got to say.
Mr. Woods, what is the LLDB audit results?
Oh, okay, what that is, it's the local law enforcement block grant. And we did get the car seat this year, but this was an audit for last year where they gave us money to get the police car. And so they sent me and, Chief Beckett a list of stuff they wanted to have ready when they got here, which we did. They also wanted to see the car, which was out there for them. But then they also wanted like a bunch of additional stuff. They want to make sure our work posters are compliant with current codes, how we're dealing with civil rights, which we're exempt from because we're such a small community. The only thing we did not have that was on their list was interpretive services. So if Chief Beckett has to talk to somebody who doesn't speak English, how do they communicate if we don't have any type of interpretive services? And they're saying the town was small. They'd be surprised if we did have it, but they still have to make a note of it. But Chief Beckett, explained, however, that he has two citizens and he spoke to, you know, the prosecutor to make sure this was okay. But he does have 2 citizens in town who speak fluent Spanish, so if he does need to speak with somebody, you know, who speaks Spanish, he's able to communicate, you know, with their interpretive services with somebody. So they were very satisfied with that. I just want to say the audit went really well, and they were happy with this. I forget the proposal will take more time, but if we need to find out more on it.
They need to think about next month, or once a month, or not as much as we do the first one. Just that. I mean, they're just saying.
Yeah.
I checked on this, because I know you said you didn't know why they sent this to us. And I don't think they know why they sent it, because they don't really know, because I called them and I said, oh, I'm just wondering why did we get this?
Right.
And they said, well, we would check, but then no one called me back. But I checked with a realtor that I know in Missouri, and she checked to see if this is something that we could actually get in Missouri, and they said they don't have it in Missouri. Not that it's available to residents. And I said,
Oh,
well,
okay.
okay, but this is specifically for Illinois elected officials.
Right, and the thing is, you know, it came in the mail. They said, give this to your board members, which, you know, I'm obligated to do. I'm not your censor, and I can't tamper with U.S. mail. It's a federal crime, so that's why it's in your packet, even though I'm thinking we don't have any property in Illinois. This makes no sense, but, you know, hey, it came to you.
Well, I thought they had something to do with Caskie Island, but we don't really have jurisdiction with Caskie Island either, so. But anyway, that's what
Yeah,
I saw.
and I asked her
wondered
that,
about that.
do we have any property, and she says, no, the boat ramp is only even close, and it's not.
Mhm. But it might, might be nice if they had something like that was offered to us elected officials, because it looks like it has some very interesting things. It shows what the latest, laws or things like that are.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think this may be their first one, which is why Missouri may not have one.
The realtor said they get something like that every month, but they don't have anything for residents or officials.
Yeah, I don't understand, it says Illinois.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the messenger.
Yes, seriously.
I'm sorry.
You a gravel kid.
Yeah. Maybe we'll just move over there. Well, I think before we do anything, we need to get more information.
Another thing you find out, if we had to do anything to that tire, or if we had to do some changes, or how much engineer fee, or we're gonna have to pay our man down here, what they think about it, so they don't come cheap. The 1 hour with them, and you done shot the money, and you still owe money. There's a lot to get there.
Their engineer may be included in their package.
I ain't talking about their engineer, I'm talking about our engineer.
Why do we need ours?
Because their engineers representing them, our engineer represent us. There's a big difference. Do you want just anybody to come in and say, yeah, our engineer says that's okay? They're the ones putting it up there. They're not gonna say it's okay. They're the ones paying it.
Question I've got too.
Hey, stay out of it right now, Dick. Just stay out of it, don't. He's troubling you too.
It's frustrating when you can't talk and you really have something you want to say. Yeah, well, you made the law. You made the ordinance.
We didn't make this ordinance on work schedule, on work. It's in the manual, it's in everything. Every city's got the same damn thing. So all cities are no good. Their ordinances are no good, according to you.
Why do you
Nobody
have
allows
to be
people
so
to walk.
nasty?
Nobody allows people to talk in a work session. It's for the aldermen to get together and take care of their business and decide how they're going to do things. That's what a work session's for. It's not, the public is invited to all of them sessions, but they're not allowed to speak unless we get pertaining to something we talk about and we request them to speak. Otherwise, they're not allowed to speak.
Thank you for the education.
Well, I told you
Okay,
before.
Thank you.
Is this anything else?
No, I think we ought to just call it quits.
I think we discussed the other day. I took that a break, yeah. Huh?
35 minutes.
You ought to smoke one, get cold, come back, sit warm up. You want to- I don't know what to think.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm gonna need this.
There you go.
Let me see, I need to do.
Where's your thing?
I don't think any.
You get paid for what you do.
Who took who? You just didn't pick it up. I didn't pick it up. They set it up.
Clean shaves. That way the duck cannot put it. Okay?
I told you, I know we got started, right it outside.
Well, he took me to work last night and then, oh my God, he said he runs up.
I was just sitting here thinking, and the kids are over there.
That was what you were.
But you got some from
That's the problem. I don't get it, I don't get it.
You know what? That's the other thing I want to tell you. He said you didn't even bitch at him.
The hell I did.
He said he didn't really bitch at him. Well, you know what? I'm sending you down there tomorrow and you're gonna bitch at him.
But, well, see, me getting at it and you are two different categories. What I call pretty heavy might be light the way you do.
According to them, ain't nobody can do good.
That's what, I mean, I'm garments.
Oh, I
You're at normal.
bitched at him, I don't know, hang on a second, about it. I said, it's your fault we're in this situation. You're the one that done it.
Yeah. It was, but it was all because you hit that back.
Oh, whatever, that had nothing to do with it.
With that fork.
I did tell him that.
That's the payroll summary that the auditors want us to start doing. Just that page is fine, I'll stay.
That's in my packet.
Was it? Okay.
Maybe it's on top of it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
And there's your other stack of stuff. Right?
Well, yeah. Why do you have to be that way?
Well, I was forced into it.
Yeah, that's what you should have said.
The guy did have a job on the street. I know.
Yes, they did.
Some of them don't think so, they were good and wide. And after we started getting rain today, they were patchable all the time. Now, every people could get uphill today when it started raining. But when you rain on ice,
Oh, I know that.
And our roads are a lot better than Maryville's
Oh,
are.
yeah, I know that.
oh, it's raining, hey, I've had people in the state talk about it today, they're getting tired.
I talked to them, well, Mike, I had, well,
I gotta go
told him,
smoke.
Frankie, look, see if it's during the flood.
They were
Sticker
sticking
protect them.
So he said.
Bucket.
You do that. He's gonna need protection for me.
I think you should right now.
They hadn't played.
He's gonna need protection for me. Yeah.
I ain't too good to go back out there and drive that truck, or I ain't been on that damn tractor if they go away.
Oh, come on.
I tell everybody, kiss my ass, if I was them, I I've done it pretty cold, but, hey, I might as well, did I? I done something I ain't never done in my life. The kid bought me my son bought me a $69 pair of bills and they opened the camera. Well, there wasn't no coat with it, so I took it back and with the bill. So I took it back and I thought, okay, it's 4 years ago.
You know,
They had
one looked like.
Oh, I remember, they had those ditch witches and they're just
No coat.
chopping all the way through people's driveways and stuff.
I
I
suspect they
everything.
didn't do that for $75.
Right.
With the $69 back, over $390.
My God.
And I thought I looked, the coat, $279 down to $249. And the pants, $199 down to $140. Brownie. But they are warm, Brownie. Brownie, not Brownie. But they are warm. I put them in the zone and I went and got the extracted and I go out here and work. But I'm done. I didn't realize it was that high. I guess I wasn't paying attention. I seen the old lady looking at me kind of funny. But she was looking at labels and I was looking at clothes.
I found out something. My people told me, I was in where Luke told me where it goes. Luck, Luke, you ever heard of that? Luck is the brand. Started figuring out apartment. Why is that deal goes like that over my place? I don't think
I got a pair of Rocky to keep my feet warm.
these things, alternately, they were coming. Very easily, helpful, all work. I got a pair of pencils too, but there was a buddy of mine wore a pair of $2,000 to have.
No, I can pay that much for something sometime now to get a name back.
I think they come up, you can get different kind of one, or they come up out here.
Well, I like the angle, but they don't cover it if it's wet or snow or thing. But the tall ones bother me. I got a pair of, I think called 7-inch, then I got a pair of them Rocky that but my feet get cold, I'm not gonna go down.
That's why I'm gonna try it. He's working out, working, we're all weekend looking out at it. You'll let that fine. Do I?
Yeah, unfortunately, but they're the only thing that was able to get through the bridge farm.
And you're right, I didn't think about, because, if they're gonna be there, they're gonna need somebody there. And see, that's why Dennis was in trouble, because he wasn't there watching these people the whole time, they're saying, stuff matters, so we want somebody there. And they're saying, in the proposal, it'll take a month, you know, to get this stuff up and done. And like, they're hurt,
Like 15 to 18 inches deep. My car's good, but it won't pull 18 inches of snow.
I'm gonna bring it
I
one.
swear to God.
The part about me,
I'm gonna go down,
I'm either gonna
make a
get
phone
this
call,
shit
and
shut
not
down,
down,
or I'm gonna get a ride
all
to
the
the
time.
office from Kendall
We're coming, we've already told.
Yeah.
I'd be looking forward to your sister, I'd be looking forward to
Monday.
that water tower. It's been gone since 2009, everybody goes, gone, everybody knows.
You only go one.
Well, I'm gonna go through again here.
And then the guy's like,
Not February was over there.
You're actually my God.
She calls everybody.
Well, I don't care if they're calling about it, but when they call them tired of clock, they take 30 minutes at a time, it's getting old, and I'm tired of it.
Yeah, I agree.
Not that you can do anything about it,
No.
but I want the newspaper, I'm gonna say if I put a newspaper with a print on it, I'm tired of it, yeah.
So get your pen ready, you're gonna be writing.
I think we might make first page again.
See, I can't even get printed the stuff I write. It's like,
It's snowing.
The people have the right to know what she's doing. But
Yeah,
they
sure.
come to me and find out. They printing up stuff about what I'm doing.
That's because.
Oh, there's the other stack of stuff for you to sign.
Oh,
Okay.
Get to sign it.
Well, I want everything signed because he's heading down to, wherever you're going down to Texas. So,
I might, but not the goddamn weather don't get better.
Hey, I had to sign all that stuff while you were gone. So,
well, that's it. That's just the citizen thing for, I don't know, they do that.
Okay.
Well, check.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Oh, that was a little.
You can talk all you want to now, then. You can call everybody what they are, not against the law, tell them what they are.
Except unless they're Alderman, you said you can't talk bad about Alderman. You said that.
He can, and never not in session. He tell you anything he wants to, that's when you and him, that's private.
go ahead, Dennis, tell me what you say.
You will not do it in a public meeting. If you don't like them, we'll vote them out.
But you do it to us, don't you?
So I got citizens check ready to go down.
Okay.
Thursday.
Oh, that light?
Yeah, that's
I
what
was
I
gonna
was
ask
talking
about that, because we gotta pay that before they put it in.
That's why I
You know
wanted,
what
yeah,
you
that's
missed?
why,
I took care of that today, boss.
yeah. Yeah.
And I got some other things to say too, so.
Now this says, send back to Jim Wagner, so am I mailing this to him or
Yeah, I would. I just mail it back to them.
citizens attention, Jim Wagner?
Right. That's what I would do.
Good deal.
Look at this other way.
What do you do?
Oh, there's what the auditors wanted besides the,
I need the initials, or?
well, two of them are blank, but since there's 4 accounts, I just throw initials on all 4 pages just to cover our bases, because that's one of the things. They said,
I know what
Sure.
I know. Even though people take that, I know a whole bunch of people. Oh. One thing about it, and one thing I can say good about you, that you're not a hypocrite. You are out front with what you do. That's probably the only good thing I can say, but I can't say that. You are not a hypocrite.
oh, I appreciate that.
Not here, anyhow, I don't know about everybody. Hang on.
I appreciate it, though, man. How's the movie coming? You all right?
I'm worn out. I haven't even eaten today, that's why I went got some chips.
Looks good.
Yeah, we got one more big load to do, the furniture and the bedding, and then we're done with that. And I told Michael, you know what? I got my rent paid up to the end of the month, we'll just do a little bit at a time in the car, if we have to. So,
Real good. Yeah, he told me how much you had to pay for that dang thing, man. That's ridiculous.
I argued with the woman, because first you pay to rent it,
Right.
then you pay for mileage, then you gotta have a full tank of gas when you give it back to her. And I thought, well, why am I paying for the truck?
Right.
Well, that's to use it. So it's
It
not
was
cost
like
me.
they didn't have, think you make a deposit on it.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
I had to make a deposit. It even cost me almost $200. Because then they're gonna charge me 59 cents for each mile that I drive too.
I worked for a company in St. Louis, running wagon trucks out,
Yeah.
one so long years ago, and it's the same way. You have to pay gas and turn it over.
Well, I can understand the gas, but gosh, you pay for the vehicle and then you pay for the mileage. And then you pay for the gas and,
They even sold insurance on it.
yeah, I had to buy that. That was $14.80 for damage.
Yep.
So I put it all in Michael's name.
There you go.
Hey, I've got a perfect driving record. Never had a ticket or anything. Never been stopped, so we'll put it in his name.
You can take her out with Mark.
Oh, yeah, I did put my sticker off, so I guess you
Excuse
could
me?
bust me for it
It's
too.
in business. It's been up there for a
Well, I
month.
got my other one in the car door.
Oh.
Never mind, all of that.
Well, we took it up there to get a tune up. But it's got the air, air.
Yeah, no, I might have separated my two.
And they're gonna, and then it's one, several on the request. Well, the motor or whatever, the air unit is back. And they no longer make it.
Oh, boy.
So it's been sitting up there for a month, and he's been trying to figure out if he can fix it. He's been trying to find one. And they,
You wouldn't think that now, come
Paul
on.
called and he said, just throw them on there and get the word out of it. Because I'm tired of driving this car.
You tell him why he thought about driving, you thought he driving the truck? What'd you do to his car?
I didn't do nothing to it.
That's not what I heard.
Just sliding across the ice.
I did not wreck it. Did he tell you who I wrecked it? I did not wreck it. I did hit a bag of whatever.
Well,
That ain't
call
right.
it?
But I don't know why.
I don't know, it was fertilizer or something. The truck was coming from St. John and I was headed towards St. John. And he had a trailer on the back of his truck that had all these bags and it was wrapped in plastic. Well, all of a sudden, all these bags went flying. And I tried to avoid as many as I could, and I hit one or two of them.
Crazy. I wonder how much Paul paid him to do that.
I wouldn't put it past him.
And then it was like the next day. This car, we was having problems with this car. So of course it was my fault.
For sure. Makes sense to me.
She's the last one.
Understands the reason.
That's his theory.
There you go.
You were driving.
Transmission went out, then quit starting.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have driving that. I could've tried to-
But Paul don't understand why it wouldn't start, because he tuned it up in 2002.
and this is 2004.
And he don't get out of low gear 90% of the time.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's all
And,
your fault.
yeah. And the one time that he did get it out of low gear, he got a $97 speeding ticket.
I'm not hopefully, I know you told me that. The way I see him poke around, they really did him good. That ticket must have really irritated him.
I made a believer out of it.
Yeah.
When you both work at Gifford or where you work, not being coming in, I walked from the stop sign to Bound House, now he got here. Well, there's a few of them around here that take lessons from him coming down Third Street.
Oh, yeah.
He goes over to that on mow grass, on that lot. You ever watch him mow?
No,
It'll take
Am
you,
I wrong?
no, you're not.
Granny Grunlow.
Oh my gosh.
It takes him all day to mow it.
That ain't a big lot.
I don't know where you're locked up.
Let's see.
You ain't got a mailbox, I'd have seen it this week.
No, it's right there as you come around the curve. Where all the trees are, it's an empty lot with all those trees. That's it.
We were living around the curve, and first road to the right. It's this avenue,
Yeah,
that's what Paul wanted.
yeah, it's right, catty corner from our nursery. All the trash is coming down on the road.
Oh,
Yeah.
W2, what's
You lose your W-2, did you?
Those are on special paper now.
They both go to the wire, check in there, W2.
That's the way it should be.
That's a matter of opinion.
No, it's not, that's.
I always thought that I probably had the richest table in the country, because I used to come home flying to the rest of the For 20 years, I come home, lay my check on the table, this morning's gone. I figured the table ate, so that's very good.
Better than trying one back one like
I don't know if she got up in the middle of the night to get that check, or beat me up, and then that next day it was gone. Never did. Now I got direct deposit, I don't get to see stuff.
That's the way it should be.
Just when you thought it was all
Yeah, look
over.
at that status. Look at that.
But I never, that's the other thing I ever did.
And all the point is, how can you go around that money, but you gotta get it.
And then the auditors one is just initial back. They're good at that. One more signature.
Me too.
Okay, signature.
Couple hours.
And then we're caught
You
up.
didn't do that.
Oh, the seal, I'll get it on there.
You didn't sign it.
Oh, I did sign it.
Why don't you do something we ain't done before?
Yeah. Got rid of the.
Get signed.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. We're up to date.
Good.
She'll probably take it off the bill. She's really let it go. If you have an outstanding bill, they'll just, she'll just subtract the deposit.
I don't know, I don't even remember giving one.
Renters
I was
are-
looking at the water thing, you know, where it says.
I think renters are $75.
75?
Renters are higher than home resident owners.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
You know what would you would do?
Yeah, it's $100 for renter and $75 for an owner.
Oh, whatever it is, it's different.
It's higher for a renter because a renter is more risk than an owner is.
I ain't know what I know. When I got mine about $20.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know, we got it back after so many years or what.
question, you gonna leave the water on? Is there gonna be electric there or?
Well, on the 13th, then there was gonna be electric over the weekend, but I got it, I have it being taken out of my name as of Monday. And Mike is supposed to come and shut the water off at 2:30 tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, you already got that set up, that's okay, that's all
Yeah, I
I
did
wanna
that
know.
today, yeah.
'Cause-
They had me fill out a little form and I just wrote 2:30 on it, so I could finish doing the cleanup and all that stuff.
Well, that's fine. I mean,
But when I
just
called
wanted-
the electric company, they said that it's up to my landlord to get a hold of the electric company if they want it left on in their name.
Right.
So I wasn't worried about it.
The reason I asked is because if there's no electric, I don't want no water going in there. And
Yeah.
especially if there's no heat and it gets
I
down a little.
don't know if they're switching it over or what. Now, they're supposed to do a walkthrough with me, but my landlord's just like, you don't get a hold of me, and nobody's got a hold of me yet, so.
Okay. I'm sure they'll look at the wash.
Yeah, almost squeezed through.
He's got flavors, he's just trying to squish you.
I just wanna make sure they go.
Dave, you do remember I was not able to get anything for Joe
Yeah.
with the snow, but they did do a beautiful plaque. We had a plaque made up.
Oh,
So I helped
okay.
with that from the guys from the fire department.
Oh, okay, good deal,
So,
good
yeah,
deal.
it came out really nice. They had a picture of the guys at the bottom.
Wow.
And then the background was shadowed. We angled the fire truck in front of the firehouse. So they put that as like a shadow in the background. And
Wow.
a picture of Joe there.
Okay.
And then on this side, it had the fireman's prayer.
Was this at the place in St. John, that
Cody
Jody's?
T's, yeah.
Cody T's,
And it
that's
was
it.
only $40 to do all that, and that was a big 11 by 12.
Wow. Good deal, good
That
job.
was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we appreciate all the years you put in. He tried to retire last time, got sucked back in, so. Yeah. And then, and I'm blaming the weather. Next month, you're gonna get 2 treasury reports, because a couple things happened. I didn't get the bank statements, which I had to get to the treasurer, because the mail was slower than normal. Plus, you know, this meeting's pretty quick to the beginning of the month. And with our mail carrier's house burned down, and then been delivering mail, so I didn't get her like income collector report till, you know, what was it, like yesterday or whatever. I mean, yeah, I just got the stuff to the treasurer like yesterday. Yeah, here you go, and he didn't have time to crank it out yet.
Long we balance out, long we always show you the good.
Oh, yeah. Don't ever run these like,
Not getting the hurry, but all of the town and go all over and done.
oh yeah. And when I give him the bank statements, he doesn't even let me open the invoice. He wants it sealed, you know, just to have complete, you know, good oversight.
So the results from our audits come back? Oh, that's good. I'm sure we need to.
They were both ahead. For the ship for it. Well, I had that told everybody back in 2 days, if you plan on having it the day of, then you couldn't have it. It's all that he I found out I was going to be a mailman, in.
No way. You did some driving, didn't you?
All I did was drive.
Okay.
I called, and today, and I said, how you doing? You had done? I said, I had done. What the order? She said, I wait for him to close the door here. You may be closing on the fly. You take off while you got him shut. Said, I let him shut him, then I take off.
How do you help them now?
I drove 4 days before.
I didn't go up the highway,
Kind of like in the movie Money Mark, when you start at the mailbox.
Oh, we really got a tough one, but they got that, wet down over there. That's fine. Anyway, no idea that you did it well.
Which is right, it's
So the postmaster clamped down on these people, they have mailbox.
for temporary purposes.
One down here, one down there.
There's some kind of deal.
Down over there, had a tractor, we graded the road, and I didn't grade around the mailbox. Well, it started. There is a specification, and they don't have to put it in, we don't need to
How
specification.
you doing? Yes, all right. Did you eat your supper?
But if we had to put them in, some of them said get out and wait, no.
I tried to get a damn bacon burger from old,
It did
buddy,
all
we
the
got
time.
Ryan, but
No,
we just wasn't cooperating.
People that rent that house and don't have, but the some of them grade all the way down to the road, and we grade by minute. Oh, it's funny.
Crazy. On Monday when I was studying, I watched our mail carrier at St. Ed walk down the middle of the street. And then when they, and then she didn't have to come for us, but our neighbor, she did it. She just walked up, didn't even get to go up on the porch, just grabbed the mail, and put it on her porch. I'm like, oh my God.
The first day, we didn't get to everybody. Second day, we got 2/3 of them. Third day, we went to everything.
Got all.
Everything.
I just couldn't dance. Cup of channel. My buddy brought it down for me. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to speak to anybody. Well, you could also put something in there anyway.
I could have, yeah. I'm waiting for you.
Most of them, let their job go.
Put it up.
Yeah, is that enough?
Yeah.
Been up for 3 months.
Yeah.
They haven't come back and put ice cards up.
Yeah.
I did it, I did it, I did it.
See if everybody's paying
I know,
attention.
but it didn't do
That's
it.
called, that's called something.
Yeah.
This is one of
Boy, Clyde, you know how to make a meeting interesting, you know that?
Hell, that's them paid for it then. Heck, I'm not paid for it then.
Yeah.
Make me feel better.
I bet them high started to pay it off already.
All that.
Well, they have.
I think the church didn't have them. You can see what happened.
Oh, man. That whole side.
I can't believe they put that tin roof on without putting iron studs on.
Yeah, well, especially with the pitch that that roof is, you know? But,
Well, they had the board all and they had it.
big time.
I don't know what cost
And
it
then
all
I was
that,
putting
but
out,
I
they
really wasn't.
were getting
No,
buying
they were
some
coffee.
magazine, and I said, wait a minute, that roof is there. And it was a $2 cheaper than she's got to get there. How you doing, Chris?
He's fragile. Yeah, he's that shit. He's just trying to give you a hard time.
Right here.
Well, that would be like it's their decision.
Well, I'll tell you again, we had a,
Went through your over, actually got some approval.
they said, oh, it's not increasing.
What he said.
There's something going on, so it no longer in it. So it's like,
And then they get that money down, they pay it down, $3,000.
had to do,
They still, it's not, it's no different than the lines.
you couldn't know what shit was there, right? And you read that sucker wide open and sucker wide open. That's what I missed. I'm not gonna go fast.
Maybe they were a mayor last 3 days.
As you can see, you know, the rating is so good.
When,
That's my buddy.
have you got this thing? Have you got it back there? Yeah, give me a lot. I don't know.
Weather like it was. and
Well, if you just do it.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I can get it back.
Huh?
As soon as he hangs up down there. I can get it.
But I need to, I gotta take this thing either on Hickory and at the.
Well, I figured that, you got that right.
It should be going here.
Oh, oh, you got the car. Oh.
That's where it should be. Anybody
How
can
you
get it.
doing? It's good to see
Yeah,
you.
they teach us that.
How you feeling? Good. I'm glad to hear that.
I think you're gonna like. Congratulations to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call votes, Alderman Clyde Costu. Here. Alderwoman Brenda Franklin.
Here.
Alderwoman Mandy Knox.
Here.
Alderwoman Diana Smith.
Here.
approve of the agenda.
Much motion to approve the agenda.
I second it.
Make a motion, take it all in favor.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Nobody passed that. Consider the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I second it.
Motion made, take it all in favor.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Okay. Big River proposal attachment, I think it's agreed to, so you're gonna need a motion to table it. You want to do that?
So I'll make a motion to table it till next week.
Second,
I second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? What is this here, 30 as a contingency for electric work?
Oh, when we approved the bid for getting our electric to get the job for the pump house, we did it on the contingency that we would look at their
Well,
scope of work.
we met with them on that, in the war, and I had Clem there, and they told us what they're gonna do, and Clem said that we
Where's that? Yeah, and
we did meet with them.
yeah, and you weren't back yet, but I told them they're gonna hook up the entire breaker box, and we'll have, electric for the whole building, not just the well, and, yeah, they totally met our expectations, and I exceeded them with the breaker box.
Yeah, well, I was questioning the water gonna come across, and our water was big enough or not, and Clem said, well, everything they're doing is plenty ample for what we're gonna do.
Got it.
So if we decide to go ahead and do that, we can do it, we decide. If the weather don't break, we can put a gravity fee out there pretty soon and fill the truck out. That whole, how many gallons are there?
50,000 gallons.
We probably won't be completely full, we'll keep it.
How fast does it pump? How fast does it produce?
It starts out about 50 gallons a minute and then reduces down to about 30 gallons a minute. It's slow.
The pump is,
50.
the pump is timed and runs 6 hours and shut down. And then it runs again, so it's always been like that.
Yeah.
And 6 hours flat,
Nothing? Yeah.
Well, the DNR reports, he said it only runs about 15 gallons a minute.
it gets down to that.
Yeah, it was.
But
Yeah, for a
that's why it
minute,
shuts, that's why it shuts down, it's always been like that. And just now, it was almost like that from where it goes.
It's a low producing well.
Yeah.
It's a low producing well. And, I have a question though about it not being used for the last couple of years. Aren't there gaskets, aren't there things that could be
No,
damaged or
no,
dried out or
no.
anything?
Why it could, the pump's
And then we
submerged,
have that
the
expensive
pump is
fix.
submerged. It's just I don't know, 2-horse pump. Look, we voted to do it,
Mhm.
we did it, so.
I know, we voted
These
without
questions are
really
new.
due diligence in checking it out.
What?
But we-
I think the question, we knew enough about it.
I don't think you had a problem with the pump, the well. I
You don't think
really
there'll be a
don't.
problem with it?
It's made to
I
be
believe
full. The well could go out next week, or it could go out 10 years from now.
Mhm.
Pumps do that.
Well, this was kind of where in the budget did this come from? Because this,
Like I told you a while ago, that we're gonna talk about it, no, we're gonna move on, because it's done been voted on. I'm talking, unless the board's got a problem, this done been voted on and passed, it passed.
Okay.
We're here to talk about the clarity of the, what we're working on, it does. it's the specifications of what we want, so it's back. Now, you can sit back and wait, maybe 6 months from now, something will make the issue out. 10 years from now, if don't, I may come down here and make the issue that didn't happen. Okay? And then get it out. LLEBG report, first thing, tell them what LLEBG is.
Yes, I will. LLEBG is local law enforcement block grants. That's through the Department of Public Safety. This is the money or the grant that we got, not this year's grant, the one before, where we got the money to buy the police car. And they gave us the list of things they wanted, you know, for the audit. We had it all ready for them. Then they had an additional list of things that they wanted on the spot, making sure we're in compliance with our workplace posters, making sure that we are in compliance with the Civil Rights Act, which we're exempt from, but you don't violate civil rights, so we're good there. But they did give me the form to fill out to say that we're exempt from it. The only thing we did not have was interpretive services. And they said they'd be surprised if a town this small had interpretive services. Because if Mark has to question somebody or deal with someone who does not speak English, only Spanish, let's say, we didn't have anybody payroll any service that we pay for interpreters, but Mark satisfied that requirement by saying he talked to the prosecutor. He's got 2 citizens in town who speaks, you know, fluent Spanish and can translate for him. So they were completely satisfied with that. So we're in good standing on that grant that we received. That's a good thing.
Yeah, you gotta take care of them farmers. I'm on camera, and I'll say it again. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep somebody around that speaks foreign language. Okay? Okay, all in all investigations, Mandy turned in as effective tomorrow. She's full-fledged alderman today. And she's resigned from office, she's moving out of town.
Oh, I've enjoyed being on the board and I'll miss being here. I really will. I'm gonna fix my seat. I wish him the best of luck.
We appreciate the time you served. Sorry to see you leave. You gotta do what you gotta do. With that said, anybody else have anything you want to say on that? Okay. Departmental reports. Fire department.
All I got to report is, we have only EMS called and 1 structure car we got Saturday morning. And also Curtis Audi is got elected to be our next chief. Just in various, this meeting.
With that being said, we would need a motion from the board to accept Kurt's election as police chief of the fire department.
Make a motion
To accept
to accept.
the election of Kurt
Election of
fire
Kurt.
chief. First fire chief.
I second.
Motion made and carried, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? You officially fire chief. Now, with that said and done, Joe, there's a plaque and everything for you, but the weather stopped it. We can't present it tonight. We're sorry. And it's very nice, but we're gonna have to present you with the plaque at another meeting.
Don't need it.
Well, I know you don't, but it's there. They were trying to keep it secret, but we can't not tell you. Because it would be done tonight if had it been. It'd either be done here at the next meeting or somewhere else at a public meeting or something. I can tell you, but we will, it's very nice and it will be presented at the fire department. Mandy put some time in on it quite a bit.
And with the weather and him being closed and, yeah, it was just a complete mess. So I apologize myself too, yeah.
You can't control the weather.
Thank you.
It's so we've been happy the last 2 days. Okay, I'm sorry too, we all are, but I'd love to present it to you.
I appreciate it.
And Kurt, we're looking forward to working with you.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to see what we can do for our community and try to make it better for all of us all around.
Okay, police department. Oh, wait, anybody else got anything on fire department? Okay, police department.
I have nothing to report.
Cemetery.
Don't have anything. Well, it's still too bad for me to use off in the traffic.
Anybody else? I did run neighbors, they were still there.
Well, that's a good thing.
Police department.
I don't have a whole lot. I would like to thank you guys for doing the job you've done. I've been around with them different towns, you've done a terrific job on the street. I know you have to put a lot of hours in, and you hours. It's appreciated. Thank you.
I will say that I am very proud of how wide the street that could be and everything. I think we finally got through their head and we realized that, man, damn, it don't hurt to get close to the ditch. If you hit it, we'll pull you out. We were going to get 9, 10 inches of rain, and if you don't make it real wide, I mean snow, then the next time around, you keep moving in, pretty soon you get where you got a 1-lane road. But they pushed it back good, they did a good job. They couldn't remove everything, but they kept the center as much as they could. Now today, got impossible because it was raining on ice. And I don't care what anybody says, what anybody do, I didn't think anything out there were people were sliding, they couldn't move, they couldn't get up the field, they couldn't do anything. And as soon as it let up on rain, I seen them out there with the tractor pulling the slush, doing everything, doing it, you know. But I am very proud of the work they did. Then the last snow, I didn't bring it to the attention at that time. We let it get away and I didn't, but they did a good job of what they had to do with it. Don't look good, old dirty cinders and things, but they do a heck of a job. We do need that rain we want to get tomorrow to wash it off. Okay, anybody want to, anything else they want to can?
I would like to say something if I could, please. There were some reports, people asking questions like, why are the city employees using city equipment to clean out individual yards or driveways and things like that during that time? And that should be something that they do somewhere else, not,
I can't answer you unless you can give me a specific.
I'm going to give you the specific.
Well, I can't answer your question I don't know where it happened. Now, if somebody asks you,
I never heard of it, I don't know.
You didn't hear anything at all?
No, nobody told me at all.
So do you really want me to name people's names here?
I don't care.
Okay.
You're the one saying it, not me. But unless you tell me I can't investigate it, I can't talk to the guys. As far as I'm concerned, it didn't happen unless I know where it did happen. Now, you better make damn sure it's a driveway.
Pam Myers.
Who?
Pam Myers.
Pam Myers. Okay, I'll find out. Is that the only one? Is that the only one, or is it just one? Is that all you got?
I don't know the names of the other ones, unfortunately.
Where's it at?
There was one down there on your street.
Mine too. Wasn't mine.
No, it wasn't yours, I guess.
I don't know who it'd be. Well, my street runs a long ways. It runs from Bader's, and then it runs up on the hill. I don't know who you're
Well,
talking about.
I'm just saying that, that
Well,
they
if
just
you
express
have a
it
right
to.
to say it.
That's right,
But
just
if-
express to them that they cannot do that on city time.
You're right, they
City
can't.
vehicles,
They can't, no, it's
just
city
because
equipment.
that's their friends or
But
whatever.
if you don't tell me who it is, I can't do a damn thing about it.
Well, there's nothing you can do
And I
right
can't
now
quit,
after
yes, I
the
can,
fact.
because it won't happen again. But I need names. Unless you got them,
Well, that's-
I'll check up on what happened to Pam Myers.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I don't know what day you're talking about. The one night they were plowing, Tom told a girl. And I was talking to him and said, that Pam told me that she was at them in the station to get gas. Now, I don't know, I'm not saying, maybe the equipment was sitting there, maybe they were in the truck. That's all I know. That truck would have been there for that reason, to get her to go open the station so we get gas.
I know, I heard about that one too.
We didn't have enough.
Well, they might have plowed her where she could get out to go get them gas.
How do you hear
Check
about
that
this
out.
stuff, you never come in my station?
But, have you got any response on it?
All I did was push the snow out of the way to get Pam to go get, so they could get out, so they could go up to the station and get the fuel.
You satisfied with it?
And the other thing is too, is I do, personally myself, I do push the snow out of my driveway, and I do push it out of my driveway because we are on call 24/7. We gotta be able to get out of our driveway. And I don't know where you're getting at, we're cleaning driveways out. The only thing I do, if somebody cleans their driveway before I come down through there with the plow, I always take the bucket of the tractor, take the plow of the truck, and push the snow back off their driveway, so that way they don't have to sit there and sweep it back out either. That's all I do.
You satisfied?
For right now, yes, sir. Just so that they understand, I mean, this is city tax money, this is time and everything else.
Then we're
That's
gonna
what
talk about
I'm
that some more, about state tax money and money wasted because people do things. On, let me see, that should be, well, your report right now. You have anything, let's see, the water and sewer.
Yeah, we had 5 water shut-offs due to broken pipes and everything, so we got them. That grinder at Litterless down here, the cutters were bound with female products. And DNR is going to visit the 16th of January 2014 to help assist in the equipment lab procedures. Show us how to do it so that we are all on the same webpage, that we're not doing something different, so that we stay in compliance with the E. coli testing and stuff like that. So they'll be here on the 16th, is what he told me. Water test results are good. We have good chlorine residuals, and it's being maintained. We had a sewer clog on 5th Street that caused us a headache, but we figured out how to do that. We didn't have to dig or anything, so we used the pressure of all the pumps to force it through, so it's cleared up now. Due to the weather, the mixed liquor ditch froze, but there was no problem with any violations. It was thawed, and we're running boat loaders to keep it from refreezing. All the lab equipment is in. We're still waiting on the control box for the lift station. I got a hold of EIC today, and they gave me a date of the 20th of January that they would begin to install the control box for the lift station down there. Tried to pin them down. There was a lot of miscommunication there, why they haven't been here before, because Charlie Ray told us and the board that they would have it in within 30 days, and well, there was a lot of miscommunication there, to say the least, but I did pin them down for the 20th of January for installation. And I called Jim Wagner today because Brett come down, Mike Briggs come down and staked off the place for the lights, for the poles, for the lights and everything. And then he told me he was gonna get with Dave about paperwork that needed to be filled out and a check before they install it. And I was waiting and waiting and waiting, and finally I called him today because I knew we had a board meeting and I know the board would be interested in it. So he sent somebody down with the paperwork for David. David filled out the paperwork and signed the check, so then that's all they're waiting on. Once he gets that back, then they'll set a date to install the rental lights. And that's all I got. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.
I have a question. Okay. Last month you said that there was, the city lost 8,000 gallons of water.
That's correct.
Okay. Where does that normally show up as far, I mean, where does that normally show up in the budget? Because I didn't see anything on there. How would that be listed in there?
Yeah, it's wrong person, that's not his place.
Okay. Well, then doesn't anybody have to ask? But then I
No,
probably,
you know, I can answer it too.
Oh,
It's
good.
just part of the water bill. It's just a law. We pay for the water and we take what money we got. And if we start using too much water for what we get, you raise rates. That's a law.
if the
It's not
water.
specified, that's an estimated 8,000 gallons anyhow. You know.
Yeah, I was wondering how you can meter water that's going into a meter that's before a meter.
The size of the hole, okay, the size of the pipe, the pressure of the water, and how long it's been running. And that's how you estimate.
And you caught it right as soon as it started? And it was, you caught it as soon as it started?
No, it was about 3 days it was running. That's why it was 8,000 gallons.
I'm not saying, how do you know it was 8,000 gallons? How could you tell it was 8 when there's no meter on it?
Talk to me, talk to me, you don't talk to me, you talk to me.
He's the water man.
I don't care what he is, he reports to me, I'll report to you.
You have the
He's
answer.
telling you it's 3 days. That's approximately how long to leave. He can only estimate 8,000 gallons, but it makes no difference if it's 30,000 gallons. We have to pay for it. Then we pay the bill. I don't even know what your question's about. He
My
told you, he
question is-
estimated he lost 8,000 gallons of water. What is the problem with that?
Because there's no way to meter that. How can we?
You don't
tell
have to
it's
meter,
accurate?
you can estimate it. They do it all the time. Clive, you've been there, you tell her, you're alderman.
I know how what he's talking about. Say, you did an estimation, okay, you don't know how long it's been running here. You can kind of look at the ground, see how saturated it is, how far around saturated, come up with a educated guess.
On the size of your pipe, how much water flows through that pipe within a certain amount of time.
Let's say, there
Oh, I'm
is,
sorry.
There's several different ways.
there is a formula to do this. And so you just figure, well, this is how long I think it was. This is a such pipe, such pressure. And you do your math and you're just guessing, you don't know for sure. There's no way to ever know for sure.
The only way you know for sure is going through the other end of the meter. Into
If
the
it went through
area.
the meter, you would know, but
Then you would know.
before it gets there, there's no way to know. It's just a educated guess.
You wouldn't even know if it went through the meter, because you wouldn't know how much they use and how much they leak.
No, you wouldn't. I mean, you would just be stuck with the bill.
But if it's on their meter, they gotta pay for it. Same as we have to pay for all of it on our side.
I know, that's what I'm saying. How can you know that if, normally you see your water going through a meter, that's was my thing. It goes through the meter, then you know how much it is, but how can you know before it gets to the meter how much?
You
That
have to
was
be
lost.
educated, that's what we pay him the bucks for. He's been to school on this, to learn to do this, to know,
Okay.
to use a
Then that's why I
calculator.
was asking him, because I thought he knew.
But it's not his place to answer you some of that business, it's my place. You don't understand protocol. You know, if you want to get down to protocol, every question's supposed to go through the chair.
Okay.
Every question, for you or them, supposed to go through the chair. I don't enforce that all the time, but when you single out one person all the time and got something to say about what he does, then I'll take over. Okay, now while we're talking about things that should be in them, I'm in your part. You made a phone call to Mopar, questioning the fact, do we pay insurance on the old tire? You deny that?
You have not got it accurate. I made a call asking, I first asked Mr. Woods and he said he didn't know, so I asked him for a phone number, if I could call him to see if there was, that everything had been taken off. There has been a whole lot of different, all this transitions in the last few months. And I was just doing what I felt was due diligence to find out if they knew that some of these things had been taken off, you know, that we don't own them
That's
anymore.
not your job. It's your job to come to this board and make that question and ask him that question.
I did ask
And
him.
then he will take care of it. Now, you called them, they're mad because you tied up all their time. They called him and
I'm
tied him
sorry,
up.
nobody answered my call, nobody
But
returned
they
my call.
tied him up. You told somebody something, because they tied him up for 30 minutes on the phone. And I know Joanne made a report that we had canceled that damn tire whenever she was in office. It's been canceled for years.
That's,
I know that. But if you had a question like that, you should bring it to the board. You ain't got no business calling Mopar and asking them what we insured. He
you
got
know
a
what?
copy.
I
He
am
can find
here,
it.
I am here to represent.
That's what I'm wanting you to
And
do.
you need to stop yelling at me
And
and
not
trying to say stuff like
Now,
that.
not speak behind everybody's back and call somebody.
I do
Come in
not.
here and ask that in front of all these people here. Do we insure the tire? Then he'll look it up. And he'll
I
call it.
asked him
And he'll
to.
report it back, not between meetings. You ask him and give him time to report it. And then the next meeting, he'll report it. Then
You
we
just
might
find
be
fault
saying
with
that.
everything that I do, don't you?
Because you usually do everything wrong.
And you have no business talking to me like that in here.
I have a right to question why did you tie this
And
part
I
up
have
for
a right
30
to
minutes?
question things too.
You're right.
So why don't we just move
But
on?
bring it in front of the board.
just move
Do it in
on.
front of the board.
You're doing a fine job in front of the board.
I always have. I've done it for almost off and on 12, 14 years as mayor. Yes, ma'am, I have. I've been reelected several times when I decided to run again. Yeah, I think I've done a pretty good job this city. I know you don't, but I do. Now, much did, I got reelected. Okay. Emergency manager,
I went to a CARE meeting yesterday, where the emergency planners meet. We, finalize, make sure we're gonna have the CERT training, which you guys authorized me to go to the first 3 Tuesdays in February. They also discussed a search and rescue operation that they had in Bloomsdale. They had 200s that were lost in the woods and spent the night when it was like super cold, but they found them. They talked about some of the issues they had, with the search and rescue, and, some of the things that went really well and some of the things that didn't go so well. So that was very interesting. Yeah, that's when we just kind of discussed, once I have the CERT training in June, they're having a train the trainer, which I will be eligible to take once I get the CERT training, but I'll run that through you guys before that, obviously that happens. So that's what I got.
you think that, well, it worth continuing.
Oh, yeah, Felix Myers there, the other emergency planners are there, health department's there, the hospital's got their emergency people there. So, yeah, these are very good meetings, they really are. Plus it keeps me in track of what trainings are coming up and,
We definitely need to get you into a class on floodplain management.
Yeah, that's the knowledge I
Gotta get
need.
you in on that. So that is a liability to the city if you do that wrong. Okay. But it's not gonna be a cold, emergency management report. Okay, citizen participation.
I'd like to say something on that, if you don't mind.
You have every right.
It'll be less than 3 minutes.
Go ahead. You take your own notes.
I just want to remind everybody that January 18th is the drug take-back program. It's here in City Hall. It's from 9 a.m. until noon. This is the first time in St. Mary's history that they've had this program, so they're hoping, it'll be a big success. And just kind of frequently asked questions that they get. It is anonymous. No one takes anybody's names down. They do not need your pill bottles. You can put your pills in a bag and bring them, to them. They just basically count how many there are and put them in the safe dispenser. The drug take-back program does not normally take syringes. However, the health department will have sharps containers here, so they will be taking syringes if anybody needs a safe place to dispose of those as well. Because I know there's a grinder, you don't want them going down there. This is good stuff to keep out of our water supply.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is this for just any kind of drugs or just prescription?
You can bring anything in.
Because I've got like old, cold, liquid cold medicine,
Right.
would they take that too, or
Yeah,
no?
yeah, they should.
Okay.
Anything, because we don't want it in the landfills, we don't want it in the water supply, no matter what it is. So it does not have to be prescription, it can be old bottled aspirin or something. So
Okay.
yes, bring it in, because we want to keep everybody safe.
Okay.
This is put on by St. John and the county or the city, or they come down here and do all that?
The people that will be down here, there will be, the county sheriff's department will have deputies here, to make sure everything is secure. The health department will also be here with a nurse. And then the stuff goes from here, under police, or the deputy escort up to the, sheriff's department, where they have an incinerator, and they dispose of it there in a safe manner. So, bring us your drugs.
Anybody out there got a question? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Can we get some kind of information or something to put up to the store?
I got flyers. Yeah, I got it in there. Yeah, mine was full.
Right.
All right, I'm good.
Not before I keep that out there, that tear it in for you. Don't give it to them. Okay. I hate to tell you, but we got to go into closed session on litigation matters and personnel matters both. I could tell you we might be 5 minutes, it could be 30 minutes, I don't know. But when we come out of it, we will be closed. You're welcome to stick around and come back in. But when we come out of closed session, we will be, without a report, we will be closing. So you can stick around if you want, and do whatever you want. So with that said, I need a motion to go in closed session on section 6101, 021, 1, and 610, 0213. I got 3.
I make a motion to go into closed session, 610, 0211.
I think that paragraph, what that ranges is.
Yeah.
And then 610, 0213.
You have a
It's
second?
second.
Roll call.
Okay, roll call vote. Alderwoman Knox,
Aye.
Alderman Hasu,
All right.
Alderwoman Maxit,
Nay.
and Alderman Frank.
Aye.
Okay, Mark, clear enough?